Nowicki, altrightnovelist.com, reporting from my fugitive site, SA Nowicki. I wanted to talk today about pain. What's your prediction for the fight? My prediction for the fight? Pain. Mr. T. That's Clubber Lang. Little pop culture reference there. Wouldn't be complete without a pop culture reference. Pain. Well, some of you may have noticed my scars here and here on the side of my face and also on my neck here. These are from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago. 23 months ago. It was in May 20th of 1996. I underwent surgery, facial surgery, because I had a skin cancer tumor that had grown invasive, and it wasn't the type of skin cancer tumor that typically metastasized, but just to make sure that it hadn't metastasized, they had to take out some of the lymph nodes in my neck as well. So it was fairly extensive surgery that was done, and it was major surgery, and it was for cancer, although again the chances of it being a deadly kind of cancer were not the highest, but again they were high enough that they had to make sure that it wasn't. So all of this was, again, nearly 2 years ago, and I haven't spoken about it publicly, however public this is. I don't know if anybody's really watching this, but this is my first time actually talking about it, actually admitting to it, as it were. When it happened, I wasn't keen on drawing attention to myself in any way. I didn't really want to discuss it. I wanted to just deal with it in my private life and not have it be a thing that I made into a matter of public discussion to whatever degree my persona is public. But now I'm making it public because I wanted to talk about pain. Now, since I had this surgery, and since the surgery involved cutting on my neck where there are a lot of nerves, I sustained some degree of nerve damage, I think, that can be said. And so I've had a measure of pain that I've had to manage since the surgery. And it's never been an extreme kind of pain. It's not something that has slowed me down, and it hasn't been something that's really made me behave terribly differently. I think if you met me before and after, you wouldn't think, wow, he's really different now. But it hasn't been a major pain, major debilitating pain, but it has been a majorly nagging pain, and something that has shifted my perspective on things. And, you know, I've done what I have to do to deal with it. Even taking drugs, which I don't like to do. But certain things, you know, can manage the pain, and it's worse sometimes than it is other times. But it's been always around, and maybe it'll just be a fixture for years to come, maybe even for the rest of my life, who knows. Again, not trying to oversell it, not trying to say that I'm suffering greatly, but it is there. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because I think that when you have pain to deal with, chronic pain, pain that is not just something that can be shrugged away, or on the other hand, not something that you can rest assured is temporary and that it'll get better. Although I hope this will get better eventually. And again, I'm dealing with it. But I know that there are people who have pain that in a chronic way, back pain or neck pain or some other kind of pain that is much worse than this, that is debilitating, that does change their lives significantly. So I don't want to oversell my pain. But I do want to just talk about how having pain shifts one's perspective. When you have this kind of pain, you learn eventually that the universe doesn't care. That whether you're in pain or not, the world around you isn't rushing to make your pain better. And putting it even more theologically, I'm not saying that God wants you to be in pain, but when you're in pain, you come to realize that, in a more personal way, in a more visceral way, because it is about viscerality, it is about feeling, you come to understand that sometimes we are assigned certain burdens to bear, and again, it's not a given that things will get better, and it's not a given that anybody particularly cares, or that I shouldn't say it like that. It's not a given that there's anything out there, that knows the injustice of what you are suffering, and that they will make it better. There's no principle in the universe, in the world in which we live, in which we find ourselves. There's no principle that says healing will happen. It's like you're sort of on your own there. You're on your own, you deal with it, you do what you have to do to deal with it, within limits, of course. You don't want to become addicted to any kind of medicine. And I haven't taken opiates or anything like that, and I don't even think they would be effective in my case, and I'm not interested. But I have experimented with different things. And what am I trying to say here? You have to learn to deal. You just deal. And you deal because there's no other option. And that's something that's kind of sobering about pain, about chronic pain, about being in a situation where you are in pain. So you grow from your pain, but there's something haunting about it, because it's not leaving you alone. It's there. And it's gonna be there in one degree or other. Even if it's not a terrible, terrible, terrible pain. The fact that it is there and that it is not going away permanently, barring a miracle, that changes your perspective. It makes you a different kind of person. So, I'm not saying I wish pain on anybody. And again, I don't want to overstate my own pain. I really, really don't. I want to make that very, very clear. I'm not trying to solicit sympathy, and I'm not trying to solicit, any kind of awe. Not awe like awe, A-W-W-W-W-W-W, awe like awe, poor thing, but also not awe, A-W-E. Like, wow, what a great guy you are. You're taking this burden on your shoulder, and no, it's not that bad, but it is something that has lent a certain perspective to things. And I thought I would just broach the topic. I'm not even sure why. I have, but it's something that I'm still sorting through 2 years later. And if you are the praying type, I would appreciate your prayers. But again, it's not a major situation. And it's not something that's kept me from anything. I still get up to the same routine that I always do. Still an exercise freak. Gotta exercise every single day. It's a compulsion for me. I still do everything that I've done before, but now I'm me plus this pain. That's all. So there you go. And that's where I'll wrap things up. Andy Nowicki, altrightnovelist.com.